The Honourable Member for Fleetwood, Port Kells.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I am pleased to rise today on behalf of the constituents of Fleetwood, Port Kells, to participate in the debate on Bill C-31, an act to implement certain provisions of the budget and other measures tabled in Parliament on February 11th. Mr. Speaker, our government has worked tirelessly to deliver effective change for Canadians and put Canada back on the road to balanced budgets. After consultations across the country, we have produced a plan which not only works for Canadians but will also make sure that Canada is financially sustainable. Our honourable colleague, the former finance minister, tabled the budget just weeks ago. Since then, my office has seen an outpouring of support from constituents who value thrift, security, and prudent economic management. Mr. Speaker, the world has been hit by repeated crises over the past few years. It is becoming harder for governments to maintain the trust of markets. We are no longer allowed to believe that we can escape the costs of financial recklessness and ineptitude. The Budget Implementation Act before us holds many measures that will markedly improve the lives of Canadians. Our government is working to ensure that Canadians can fill the skills gap, providing both vital services and ensuring a viable livelihood. By increasing paid internships for young Canadians, the government will commit $55 million to help recent graduates find work in their field. By getting graduates to work, Canada can make the most of its skilled labour force and provide opportunities for young Canadians to flourish. At the same time, the government will ensure that older workers have opportunities to find new employment. As Canadians are living longer, we must face the unexpected challenges posed by longevity beyond one's financial plans. By investing $75 million in training for older workers, our government will make sure that all Canadians can find good skilled jobs. Help is not limited to the young and the old. Through the job matching service, this Conservative government will grease the wheels of commerce and ensure that employers and employees can find their perfect match. Mr. Speaker, with Canada's ever-increasing integration not only into the world economy but between provinces, it's vital for the federal government to play a role in smoothing labour markets all across the country. Never before have we seen the kind of mobility that we see today, nor have we realized the promise that such mobility creates for families and communities. It's not enough to be looking for a job. We need to support those who are currently training for jobs that will fill much-needed positions through the Canada Job Grant and the Canada Apprentice Loan. The federal government is investing in high-skilled jobs that are currently going unfilled in many parts of the country. By ensuring that Canada has the skilled tradespeople it needs, our government is making sure that the economy can function smoothly. Mr. Speaker, this budget is about embracing the future, a future with skilled jobs, a thriving economy, and a balanced budget. Through this budget, rural communities will stand to benefit from improved broadband access in rural and remote areas of the country. It's important that Canadians in rural areas like parts of the British Columbia interior and northern BC have access to internet and to an acceptable degree. Failing to update Canada's digital infrastructure could doom those outside of well-covered areas to technological backwardness and put them at a perpetual disadvantage. Investment in science and technology, such as the government's $222 million grant to the Triumph Physics Laboratory at the University of British Columbia, promises to pay dividends not just in commercial terms but in academic, intellectual and technological advances. British Columbians and Canadians stand to profit immensely by the measures presented in this budget. The Budget Implementation Act goes further by continuing the good work of the red tape reduction action plan. This budget will make life easier for small and medium-sized business owners in too many areas of Canadian life and work. Excessive red tape holds us back. The Conservatives have demonstrated a commitment to making Canada work in a way that benefits consumers, workers, and citizens by removing arbitrary and wasteful barriers and to businesses. So there are also significant changes to the tax code. Mr. Speaker, the tax code is not a subject that gets many people excited, but by eliminating over 800,000 payroll deduction remittances to the Canada Revenue Agency every year, this government will be helping over 50,000 small businesses lower costs imposed by bureaucracy. Our government is always concerned about the security of Canadians. For any number of reasons, the lives and well-being of Canadians can be in danger. And it's a key role of government to offer solutions. By investing a further $25 million, we are aiming to reduce violence against Aboriginal women and girls. So this sector of our community is often the target of abuse above and beyond that faced by others, and they deserve a government that comes to their protection. Our government will invest $11 million to upgrade the earthquake monitoring systems that protect the homes of my constituents in the Lower Mainland and in high-risk areas across the country. Mr. Speaker, over 1 million net new jobs have been created since the recession ended in July 2009. In the crisis and afterwards, our government has provided a steady hand at the tiller, ensuring that Canada's policies work towards stability, growth, and prosperity. Our banking system has ranked the most stable in the world for the 6th year in running by the World Economic Forum. Mr. Speaker, the numbers do not lie. The deficit will be a meager $2.9 billion this year, with a $6.4 billion surplus coming next year. This is a momentous achievement. When the previous government balanced the books, it did so by raising taxes and slashing transfers to the provinces. Our government has done neither. In fact, we have done the complete opposite. Next year, our government will provide British Columbia with $4.17 billion through the Canada Health Transfers, an all-time high. Not only that, but this is more than $1.3 billion than under the previous Liberal government. That's a 49% increase. As well, we have reduced the overall tax burden to its lowest level in 50 years. Our strong record of tax relief has meant a savings of nearly $3,400 for a typical family of 4 in 2014 without raising taxes on Canadians or simply moving costs to other levels of government. The Conservatives have a credible plan for long-term fiscal success. Mr. Speaker, our opposition has made it clear they will raise taxes and then increase spending beyond even that. So I commend our Conservative government for such a thoughtful and solid document. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.